mean, yeah, you can, because now there's things that I do now on a daily basis that are rooted in higher sexuality, and you need to do that. I mean, the road to either extreme longevity or outright being immortal, if that's ever possible in a 3D body, comes through sexual energy. You have to master that. It's a must. And that's why the Abrahamic religions condemn it, because they don't want you to do that. Abrahamism is a slave matrix, and it's designed to turn you into a fucking slave that's cut off from the source. And that divine source is Kundalini, and it shows up in our lives is through sexual ecstasy. But now the men have an extra responsibility. The men have the responsibility of not squandering our seed, and that is a vital thing to learn. You must do that if you're a man. You have to learn to overcome the addiction of ejaculation. And the beauty of it is it doesn't negate the pleasure aspect one bit. As a matter of fact, it's a springboard to higher, as Dan Winter would say, bliss or sexual ecstasy, transcendental sexual ecstasy.
With retention?
What? Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, semen retention. You don't ejaculate. Do not ejaculate. And as a matter of fact, I just had, right now, I'm on 78 or 79 days or something like that since my last accidental ejaculation.
Nice.
But that's with, full engagement of, people always think, now, one of the things that drives me crazy when I say that is some people have this knee-jerk idea to think that means abstinence. It does not mean abstinence. As a matter of fact, I keep track of everything that I do in that regard. And right now I'm at 78 over 49. And the lower number is the number of days of actual phallic stimulation sexuality. So I am by no means celibate or abstinent. And you don't want to be, because you need to you need to juice that energy up. You need to raise the RPMs of your sexual capacity. You need to be pushing the envelope all the time. And you want to saturate your body with the sexual energy, because the Chinese refer to qi as steam, because that's how it moves through your body. And this guy like Mantak Chia and talk about the sacral and cranial pumps. Well, they use the word pump for a reason. And Kundalini is described as a serpent for a reason, because you have to pump it through your body. You undulate through. That's why Abrahamism is so vehemently against the sexual act, because it gets you to, your hips start pumping, obviously, and that's how it pumps through your body. So erotic dancing is like, especially Christians in this country, they're against everything. They're against yoga. They're against all of these things. Facilitate sexual energy movement, yoga especially. I mean, if your yoga sessions aren't, put it this way, if you're doing yoga by yourself and someone's thinking that you're fucking having some kind of fucking sex with a ghost, then you're doing it wrong, because it's like, sexual energy has to, the idea of sex needs to be fixed in this world, and people need to develop healthy sexuality. But for men, that means not ejaculating. Boys especially, have to be taught at the earliest of ages not to squander their semen through sexuality. And if they can learn that, they open the doorway to a much higher world of divinity. Because, as a matter of fact, my record was achieved last year in 2017. I went 288 days in a row without ejaculating. And that's like just over 9 months. Man, and shit happens when you start doing that. As a matter of fact, I guess in the Vedic text, or the official tantric text, they say that you don't want, it's okay to squander your seed once a month, basically. If you're a man and you want to let one go once a month, that's fine. You won't lose anything, but you really won't gain either. But the longer you can go without doing that, you start developing powers. You start developing a new sense of reality, and you start developing understandings of what is really going on here. And human beings are conduits, like this, what I call Kundalini. Your body is a conduit for that, and you start being able to develop skill. I mean, your work is all about higher development of these skills, isn't it?
Yep. Unlocking the body. Okay, so with my systems, I look for ways to improve the body and how it functions in every way, and I am very interested and excited in every way I look into what's hidden in the esoteric anatomy. Like for retention, have seen different people use different things for it. In like the point of orgasm, where just on the ramping up of it, and then focusing on the energy directly as it like shoots up the top of the spine, and goes up out of the head, and is like wasted. Instead of doing that, some type of systems have been created where it's either where they completely stop energy and then try to push it back down, or they put it into a loop that goes back in like an onk, and it kind of
Onking, yeah. Onking, yeah.
Yeah, and then be able to retain that and hold that in storage as like a current and arc that goes up and down their spine, and trying to maintain that over time, and then branching out to different aspects of the body, and kind of like sinking it in to every organ and cellular functions, DNA, and the magnetized wormholes of our throughout our system that can hold that.
Well, exactly. Yeah, well, you do. I mean, you charge your body with it. The thing is, it's not something you do. It's not something you do once and then you're set. I mean, it's like yoga or any other thing. It has to be done all the time. So I mean, you have to charge your body with this. The thing is, it saturates your body. You can feel it. There is no guesswork with it once you get good at it, because you can smell it on your body. You can smell it and you can feel it in your body. Your body will soften, because your body softens as if you were a fucking woman. Your body will soften. Your body will be your body will be really soft, and you will be able to smell the sexuality on your own skin. So when you're flowing with this stuff, it saturates your body. That's why using the water analogy or the steam analogy is so good, because it's exactly what it feels like. It's like you're like a giant fucking sponge, and you soak your body in this sexual energy, and you got to do it a lot. So usually what I do is I'll go 2 or 3 days on where I do, and I'm talking about fully phallic engaged sexuality, either alone or with a lover. And then I'll take a day off, because when I say take a day off, I mean just don't engage your phallus for a day or two, because you have to, because this isn't like, most guys who either masturbate or have sex with their girlfriends, most men don't last very long. Usually the ordeal is probably on the high end, between 10 to 15 minutes if they're lucky. That's if they're fucking lucky. If they have a fucking beer buzz going, then they might last a little bit longer. But that's like, yeah, right. I've always said it like this, sex for me is always lasts 45 minutes. 20 minutes of begging, 5 minutes of action, and another 20 minutes apologizing. No, but what happens, once you develop these skills, it is routine to go easily at least an hour, but I've gone anywhere up to fucking 2 and sometimes even 3 hours if I was really incensed in the moment. But usually it'd be the area, and good average would probably be like an hour and a half, no problem. And that is heavy, deep. That is, when I say transcendental ecstasy, I mean transcendental ecstasy. You are engaged in fucking higher realms of understanding with your body. I mean, you when they say the term, come in colors, there's some old hippie song about come in colors. Well, that's what you're seeing in your mind's eye, bright, brilliant flashes of colors. And this energy is just flowing through your body. Your chest is open, your spine. It's flowing down through your hands and feet. I mean, your hands and feet are equally as much sexual organs as your phallus is. Your hands and feet are equally sexual as your phallus in every sense of the
tips of the fingers and the huge
Yeah,
heart orgasm and just like
the whole
energetically
body, I mean,
pulsing.
all of it. Yeah, so it's vitally important to do that. But the beauty of it is, it's not a sacrifice. You know, you're not sacrificing the pleasure of ejaculating. What happens is you end up fucking hating ejaculate. I never want to ejaculate, and if I do, I'm fucking pissed because I know what it feels.
It's good.
It's a week long of hell. I mean, once you start going more than 30 to 60 days consistently, when you do ejaculate accidentally, it's like getting hit by a fucking bus. You know, people always say, "Oh, it's not like that for me." Yeah, but you ejaculate every day, you fucking dumbass. You're used to it. Yeah, the key word is you have to go, you know, multiple like 30 to 60 days consistently to where your body is just not used to that trauma, and then you realize that ejaculation is a trauma, and then you'll despise it. I mean, I have no desire to ejaculate. It doesn't matter who I'm with.
Do you like what's your process for combining? Because because you're like good at it, and most men aren't good at it, and they have no idea how to search that up, or in key terms to looking for the mystery school that describes sacred sexuality and retention and the yogas.
Well, because
Um, and
well, yeah,
and so like you're achieving greater forms of orgasm, like in hard orgasm, multiple orgasms for a man, which is possible.
definitely, yeah, all right, exactly, yeah. It's not even multiple orgasm. That's the wrong word. I would think it's perpetual orgasm is a better
Yeah, that's
word
cool.
because it's not like because guys, because one thing that men, one of the first things you have to realize is that orgasm and ejaculation are two separate things. It's not. They just happen to come so close together for most men that they think it's one, but it's not. Orgasm is not ejaculation. Ejaculation is to have babies, and orgasm is needed for the human body to come alive properly. As a matter of fact, I have a great video. I have, one of my best video series on my channel is called the Osteron Tarot Spiral. And in one of those episodes, I think it's episode 4, I have what's called the Spear of Destiny. And it shows using the tarot and the zodiac, the actual Kundalini awakening process in man. And it also shows that via the precession of the equinox using the zodiac and the tarot. It's one of the best videos I've made. But it shows the Kundalini awakening process going backwards through the zodiac, and it begins with Capricorn, Earth, and then the next one is fire with Jupiter, and the next level after that is the heart chakra coming awake with Scorpio, which is cherubic water, which is masculine and feminine. That's a key distinction. And then the last level, Libra, is the actual illumined mind awakened up in man. So it shows the process of Kundalini rising up the spine from the sacral chakra to the third eye in your head, and it shows that via the zodiac and the tarot. It's fucking amazing.
Nice.
But that's in the Osteron Tarot Spiral 4, highly recommended series and video. But yeah,
I'll check that one out.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
So like I think
I kind of forget what.
that's okay. We could talk about like large amounts of shit. I can already tell. So like I think with most men, and that what stops them from greater attainment of this is they have uh, a bad relationship with their sexuality, and they're using it to get rid of this overwhelming urging sensation of like have too much sexual energy or being influenced to have so like by triggers in their reality. They have a brain that's set up with things that will trigger them into like, oh you're more and more until eventually you're like super hot and bothered and need it's like perpetuating through your head, keeping you from getting work done, and then it's like a hassle of something, and like a lot of men feel like they're in this prison that they can't get out of because they're not able to take full free will control over their sexuality and work in unity with it. And that's why I go into healing the sexual body, of the person as like a
Yeah.
filing system of energy that can be seen in many different aspects of what's being negatively imprinted upon it to get somebody in a certain habit pattern. They can be in many different imbalances, states that we see in the world, and perversions, etc., and how that affects them. And this is a very big key to going and breaking out of that prison of the self-perpetuating influence sexual body to not be able to control your behavior, really.